And in 2022, Zara Rutherford concluded her tour around the globe in a small aircraft. And this way, she became the youngest woman to fly solo around the world. And this journey lasted 4 months and 26 days. And coming to the expo took her quite some time, but she's here. We are very happy to have her here with us. Zara was born into a family that is all aviators. She had great role models with her parents, but also with her grandparents, and she wanted to continue this heritage. But she also wanted to encourage young women to pursue their dreams and to reduce the gender gap in aviation, but also in science, technology, and engineering. And with her flight, she wanted to show that, yes, you can be bold, you can be ambitious, and you can have dreams, and you can realize those dreams. She's not the only one coming on stage. You see, we have 3 seats right now, because I'm also very happy to introduce you. I don't know if he needs an introduction, but our Prime Minister since October 2020, Alexander De Croo, is also with us, and I'm going to ask a warm welcome for Alexander De Croo and Zara Rutherford. Please join me on stage. Welcome, Zara. Very nice to have you with us. Maybe you take this seat. Welcome, Mr. De Croo. Let's sit down. That will be probably more easy. Mr. De Croo, can I say Alexander?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Alexander.
If I can say Suyin.
Yes, you can say Suyin, no problem. Why was it so important for you to come and be with us today here in Brussels?
A number of reasons. First of all, because I believe in talent. And you know, in a country like Belgium, we don't have natural resources. I mean, we don't have gas, we found out since a few months. But we have brains, and we have ambition, and we have people that want to change things, and we have people who want to innovate. And we are such a talent pool. I mean, Brussels and Belgium is one of those places where so much talent gravitates. And it's been always my motivation to go into politics, is because I believe that we can get more out of this, and we don't use all the talent and all the potential that we have. And I'm obviously extremely happy to be on stage with Zara. We had the occasion to talk on the phone for 10 minutes after an incredible endeavor. To me, you put together so many things. Being daring and not being afraid, and moving your own boundaries. Believing in technology, which I really think is one of the core things that gets progress forward. And women in tech, and I'm a big fan of women in tech. And I know this is one of the points you put forward.
Great. Zara, when did you first started dreaming of flying the world?
So I'd always dreamt of it. It was like one of those amazing adventures I'd always thought I had to do. But I always assumed it'd be impossible. Because my parents were pilots, and I knew I was going to be a pilot, but yet flying around the world was always this impossible task, because who was I, right? I mean, it's too dangerous, too complicated, too expensive. And so when I got my pilot's license, and nothing really happened with that, and it's only when I got to my last year in high school that I thought, actually, let me do something about this. Let me do something a bit crazy and kind of go for it.
And indeed, you did something a little bit crazy, which was probably, as you say, very challenging for yourself. But what is very beautiful is that you're also doing this to show other young women that, yes, you have to be bold. Is that something that is very important for you, to also be like a role model to other women?
Definitely. When I was growing, I mean, I still am kind of growing up, but when I was younger, I never saw other female pilots. And that's quite discouraging, especially when you're 12, 13, 14 years old as a girl, and I'm assuming as a boy as well. That's when you really want to fit in with your friends. And so I was interested in aviation, and none of my female friends were interested in the same things. And it's quite discouraging because you think, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe aviation isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And then that's why now I'm kind of want to be a friendly face for other girls who are interested in aviation and say, hey, you're not the only one. I'm right here.
Okay. Alexander, how important is it for the Belgian ecosystem in tech and the European ecosystem that we have young women, less young women, to also be there as role models?
Because in general, we take better decisions when we have more diversity. And I think all of us know that. I mean, if you have a decision table in anything, I mean, be it an enterprise, be it the parents' council of your school or a local sports club. I mean, if you have a table with only men with gray hair and blue suits like me, or you have a more diverse decision table in this rapidly changing world, who takes the better decisions? You take better decisions when you have a more diverse group. And I mean, can we afford to waste as much talent as we have been doing over the last decades? I mean, if you look in Belgium and you look in higher education, you have, in general, as many men as women graduating. In general, the grades of women are actually better. And then 10 years later, you wonder what happened to all the talented women. I mean, do we want as a society to have the highest educated housewives in the world? That's a bit of a strange strategy. So there's a lot of things we can do to make sure that we leverage all the talent that we have. And that means that sometimes you need to make deliberate choices, but also that you need to have role models. And I mean, you're at the beginning of everything you could achieve in life, but it's great how you managed to get that message across and to inspire other young women, but also, and that's important, to also inspire men. I mean, we can only get there if we have men who say we want to be champions in, for example, gender equality, because it's good for women, but it's also good for men.
Indeed. They gave a title to this fire chat. They said, flying high under unclear skies. And then I ask you, you've been in the sky for 4 months and 26 days. What does the sky teach us as human, and what can we learn from an aviator being high in the sky?
There's a few things. The first one that sounds strange, but so it took me 5 months to fly around it. When I got to South Korea, it was a really long flight. It was Russia to South Korea. I had to avoid North Korea. Had some issues with that. But I got to South Korea, and I realized how small the planet was. And I was on the other side of it, right, from my home. And yet, I was in one of the most remote, like one of the furthest places I could be, and I felt quite close because I realized actually I'd seen it all happen in front of me. And so as before, I might think South Korea is so far away, it might as well be on a different planet. It feels like it's so far away. Now it's more like it's right around the corner. So I think in that sense, realizing how small the planet was, it makes it seem a lot more fragile and how we need to take care of it. Another angle was how every country I went to, everyone I met, no matter the culture or the gender or the age, everybody treated me with respect and kindness. And that was incredible.
Great. Well, Alexander, you're in politics. I think the sky is rarely clear in politics. What can we learn from somebody in politics as tech entrepreneurs of making those decisions when things are uncertain, when you don't know the way? Can you teach us something about that?
Well, I have no lessons to give on aviation. I haven't gotten any further than Microsoft Flight Simulator. Look, in times of uncertainties, there's two ways of looking at it. You could put all your attention into the things you don't know and into the uncertainties. Or you can put your attention in the things you do know and in the things that will remain stable. I have a tendency to focus on the things that remain stable and to say, okay, what do we know? What are the things that will be constant? And how can we get the maximum out of that? Then to deal with the uncertainty, I mean, my rule over the last, especially during COVID, was don't be afraid to say you were wrong. I mean, when the facts change, I change my mind. And so be humble towards the uncertainties in which you are faced. So combining that, so focusing on what you do know, and then be humble towards the uncertainty you have to deal with, and don't be afraid to say, okay, well, things have changed. The analysis I make is different, so the decision I make is a different one.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a last question, because I need to keep the timing, an eye on the timing, because you need to leave in time. Maybe a last question. What do you think is the biggest blocking problem for young women to be bold and be ambitious?
I think it's the lack of representation and lack of encouragement. Boys from a very young age are told, go big, dream big, go for your dreams. Girls too, but to much less. And then, well, if there's less, if the expectations aren't as high, and if anything, if the expectations are low, then it might be quite, discouraging, and you might not dream big.
Okay, well, you definitely dream big, and I'm sure, or I know, I have two little girls, 14 and 15. They love what you do, but I can tell you, even me, old woman, doing a lot of things, you are a role model to many of us out there. And we've seen a first award coming on the stage for Maria Gabrielle. But, Alexander, we have another award. Robin, can you join us on stage?
Absolutely.
Because we would like to hand over.
And I think Mr. Prime Minister can do the honors here. But we really wanted to congratulate Zara with her achievements and hand over an award to her as well. Oops, sorry.
And with an award, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need an applause.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's amazing.
Congratulations. I think, honestly, in name of everyone in this room, I think you have a lot of people who admire, a lot of people throughout the world who admire what you have done. And I would say that this award is an encouragement, because we expect much more from you in the years to come. Congratulations.
I love it. It says here, the sky is not the limit, and I completely agree with that. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.